I do it. All right. I don't know. All right. Ola Englund has really long arms, and he does this. All right. I don't know. See, it doesn't feel right with me. All right. I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to be Ola Englund. Though, it does make you want to get a 7-string guitar. All right. So Amplitube 5. I'm just going to go through. I have like a few minutes before I got to teach. I'm just going to go over some of these amps that I like and some of the presets that I've just made, and you can hear it. This is really nice. This Amplitube 5 is just, I love it, and it's a nice thing because I've got all the amps, right? I've got the Boogie, the Marshall, the Vox, the Fender, the Orange, and that's my main thing. But there's times I want different things, and I'm just not going to go buy more high gain amps, or it's just not happening right now. So I started the quest to find these different ones, and I keep coming back to Amplitube. I've been on Amplitube for years, and they switched to 5 about 2 months ago, and I got the whole max setup that has everything, all the stomp box, everything, just the whole works. You can run up to 3 amps, and it sounds great. So here I'll show you a couple of the amps that I've been working with. So starting here, the SLO. I love this amp from Amplitube 4. Some unstable playing. So on the Soldano, there's your settings. I just use the stock cabinet that it comes with. I haven't delved that deep in it, and I add a little bit of the distortion. And the way I've got this, I've got kind of the gain a little above noon. I've got the tone at noon, and I think on this one I have the gain all the way down. Or no, the level is at like a little above noon. Gain is all the way down. I've got a little gate here, a decimator. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, there's built-in gates. Anyway, so that's the Soldano. And here's the triple. You can hear the noise changes. Maybe want to get it a little brighter. I was messing with these last night, kind of approximating them so they're all similar, so you don't go between them and it's so drastic, and then you dial from there. Yeah, and then I'll just come up here, save settings, and just replace. What's funny is they have this, so in the pedals they have the MXR 10 band. You can see it here, which is the standard one that like most everybody puts in the loop of their, I guess then you would put that here. Okay, but anyway, the Boss one actually sounds better in this. So here's the Boss first, and then here's the Boss in the loop. Pass on that idea right now. There you go. We'll just go back. Oh, whoa. Now I got a whole bunch going on here. Oh, I see it. Oh, I see. All right. So let me come here and move. Yeah. Keep it like that. Anyway, so that. Yeah, that sounds really nice. And a little bit of the little crunch, that little thing, same kind of setup. just no real gain. So there's the triple. And go VH4. Now they sound a little, this one sounds a little woofy. Let me fix these. I've been dialing these in. It takes a little time, for me anyway. I got to get used to them. Let's try this. I think I have a... And I want this one to sound a little bit more blah. That's a lot better. A little noisy though. What's that noise about? Is that this? Oh wow, yeah. Let's turn that down. Yeah, so there's probably a noise gate in here. Dime noise gate. I haven't gone through which one is which. I'll just throw the dime noise gate in there first. Whoa. Oh, that really is abusive. Wow, yeah, it's just like shuts it off. Filter. Oh, no, I don't like this. Hold on. Remove. I think there's just their stock noise gate. Alright. Huh. Weird. Okay. Anyway. You can really dial this stuff in with this gate. Noise gate. I wonder if there's one like a decimator. Okay, this is probably more my speed. Let's try this. Probably want to release a little quicker. Depth is. It's so weird. Yeah. It's not the best game. It's not the best game. It's not as good as Decimate. Oh, well, you know what I could probably do is, yeah, just use the Decimator. dig that gate. Let's see. Let's try something. Let's go remove. Let's just pull in this other gate. Just a single knob MXR looking thing. So weird. They're all little. That's better. Look at that, man. Just put the old single knob in there. Better, right? Let me shut off the decimator. I definitely like that one better. I'll just leave it the way it is. I'll add a little more top end back because sometimes noise gates can just eat a little bit of... So anyway, that is Amplitube, and this is the new one, and I'm using it today. I have people coming out from California, and the thing that I figured out how to do with this, and it took me a few days, is how to blend this as a through with a DI with my real amps. And here, I'll play just a second of something. This is what I was tracking last night. Right, so here are the two amps, right? Yeah. All right, has everybody sufficiently had enough of that riff? That's been my riff of choice. Now here's the DI that was tracked at the same time with, let's put the new VH4 fix on there. Oh wait, did I save it? Let me save it. Gotta make sure you save it. Save your settings. Here. Where am I at? Harmonic 4, 5 mono. Hey, it's 5 mono. Hey, it's mono and mono. And there's your VH4. Okay. Sorry about that. Here is VH4. Perfect, right? So now if I go back to my amps, these are the real amps, the non-DI'd amps. And then I bring this in. And the way I did this was, this is like as absolutely phase accurate as I can possibly make. This first amp, the second amp is 12 samples behind the first amp. So I actually put in a time adjuster for 12 samples. And then this here, if you read it, it says the DI came in. What's weird is that the first day I was doing this, the DI was coming in earlier. Now it's coming in later. I never know this. You got to always test it every day because it seems like there's ghosts in the machine. But the DI came in at 806 samples, 1,806 samples later. So it says moved 1,806 samples. So what I did was I came in here, I did a tick, figured out how many samples it was off, and now there it is. It's like perfect, right? But what I did was I grabbed the whole thing and I Option H'd and I moved it earlier by 1,806 samples, and I hit it. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing with this. Like when I get done with the track and I like the whole setup, or I like the playing on it, I'm gonna align the DI perfectly to the tracks, to the amps, And then the key, and to me, it's just like blending amps. You just can't have everything at the same volume. You can't have everything on 10. Like, it has to, they just sound better when something's maybe more dominant. I don't know. Here we go. So this is the rectifier. And here is the Marshall. And here is the VH4 Amplitube. And there, it's probably got a little bit more bass, a little more depth than I would want. I mean, that's the thing, you would sculpt it. But what I found was that I do this, right? And I start to, like, if I decide like the triple's my primary, let's just say for argument's sake, and then I'll start blending these in. Watch. There's a point where you bring the Marshall in and it stops sounding like a rectifier type of track, which, if that's what you want, then you bring the Marshall in heavier. But if you want it to feel more like, like a rectifier track, then you keep the Marshall more down here. You'll hear it. So this is going to give you more of the rectifier feel. Now you're getting more Marshall, and you can go the other way. So here's Marshall. See, right about there with the rectifier, it still sounds like a Marshall track to me. Right there, it starts getting a little like, there's this weird Clash of the Titans. Which is fine. I mean, sometimes that's what you want. And then now the key is don't bring the Amplitube all the way up. You're adding this almost as like a colored track or like a different dimension. Yeah, so I mean, it creates a little bit of a space thing. And the main reason I'm doing this is because I write almost exclusively with Amplitube when I'm writing on guitar. And I do almost all my scratch tracks with Amplitube, because once I get in writing mode, I'm going quick. I don't want to be like dealing with amps. I just want to be like bing, 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 right? And I like Amplitube. I like Amplitube. So, but what I find is a lot of times when I get to the end of the record, like I'm keeping those Amplitube tracks, just because I think in the same way that we use things like trigger, there's kind of, when you put samples on drums, like, kick, snare, maybe toms, and you're using like trigger or whatever, Drumagog or, Superior Drummer, it adds kind of a flatness to the sound, right? Now, I mean, obviously there's like purists that are like, oh no, it's not, I don't care. I mean, it adds like a punch, and it stiffens up. It stiffens up the source because it's more direct, and Amplitube is more in your face in a different kind of way, in almost a two-dimensional way. So I like bringing it in, and I think it just sounds cool. And a lot of times on like funky parts, it just sounds better than an amp to me, because I don't know why. It's something about it. I like the way it sounds. When you want to make it small, it gets small. When you want to make it hard and in your face, it can get hard and in your face. Most of the solos on these records that I make, probably half the solos are there. It's all take one. It's not even a take one. It's like I'm writing and I just start playing the solo, and then that ends up on the record. And 99% of the time, it's just Amplitube. So anyway, that's just been my experience. So, and, wanting other sounds, wanting to add heavier sounds, wanting to add some of, these other funkier sounds that I just don't have here, this just doesn't quite do it. And again, if I was doing like a rock record, I wouldn't necessarily want to do the whole thing with Amplitube. It just wouldn't. I would. But when you blend Amplitube with amps, I would say that people couldn't even tell the difference, really. I mean, maybe if you really were a serious nerd about sound and you were an audiophile, maybe. But who cares? Those guys aren't buying our music anyway. They're not supporting. You know what I mean? They're on their own trip, right? They're still listening to Steely Dan Asia. So it's just a cool record, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, that's it. I got to go teach voice. But I just want to show you guys this because it's very cool, and I tried all of them. I've used all of them. I've tried all of them. I got all of them last week. Bias and the neural DSP. There's a bunch of them. I just like this. I just think it sounds cool. It sounds more natural to me in a weird way. And I think this company has probably, and this is just a speculation, way more money to do this stuff with than these little boutique companies. I don't know. It just seems like whatever they're doing is, it's almost like if you look at like what went into Superior Drummer or Omnisphere, the only way that could happen is if a company had money. You have to have money. You can't be some like little company and do that. You have to have money because these guys are like, Anyway, that's where I'm at. Or Native Instruments, right? So there you go. This is another great amp. This has been my favorite. I actually like this better in Amplitube 4. I just like this is my main writing amp right here. Just everything at noon. Actually, I usually back the gain off a little bit. Done. Usually like right about here. I grab my Gretsch and write songs, baby. The high watt's cool. I was messing with this. So anyway, and the dual is way different than the triple. It's more subdued. It's more kind of sultry. So I messed with it and got a little, EQ setting and got a little gain structure that I liked. So anyway, but that's it. And the other thing, a whole bunch of people that downloaded the tracks to my songs, I've heard mostly rely on the first one. They're mixing these songs and they're posting them up, and I got to tell you, they're doing a great job. And it's like, I don't know if I'd say it's flattering or whatever, but it's just really cool that like to hear other people's take on your thing. And yeah, so I'm excited. I think I'm gonna start a little thing like maybe a Facebook group, and we're gonna it's gonna be free. There's not gonna be any subscription. It's all free. And what I'll do is start doling out songs, and we'll all mix them, and we can all upload them, and maybe talk a little bit back and forth about like, oh, that's cool, or how'd you get the kick drum on that, or what's the reverb on the tambourine? Can you imagine somebody listening to one of my songs and saying, what's the reverb on the tambourine? Ba-dum-tsh. All right, that's it. You guys are out of here. I'm out of here. The whole camping trip's out of order.